Title contenders.
Yes, sir. We're back to where we belong. City Pool is back.
Yuck.
Why do you always twerk for City?
I'm not talking for them. Listen, man.
Yeah, you're always talking for them.
No.
Well, you are.
No. I'm not like
They
United
are.
fans. It's United fans who do that. We
No, both of you twerk for them.
No. We actually go there and win the league or the Champions League. This man don't win the league.
You say we always go there and win the league.
I didn't say we always. I said we go to the territories and at least we win something. This man don't.
If you've competed, so the thing is, if you've competed with City for 6 years, you've won once.
No,
Are you really competing?
let me
really?
correct
Yeah,
that
like-
now. Let me. You know, you guys like facts. Or let's
yes,
stick
we
to
do.
facts. Let me correct that now. Zoom. We've not been in the title race for 6 years with Manchester City. We've only been involved in the title race 3 times with Manchester City. We've won once. They've won twice, which you can understand considering
The other
how
ones?
they do
But
things.
excuse me, when you guys won the league, were they involved in a title race with you?
We were so good that they were nowhere anywhere close
right,
to us.
okay, yeah.
You
'Cause
can't
Man City-
count that season.
No, then why does it count? How come that counts as them being in a
They
title
were in
race
the
with
race
you?
until June or something. They still could have won the league. So I consider we were competing with them because they lost to Chelsea.
When were you confirmed? Before COVID, sindio? So nasemanga si
we
COVID
were not-
league.
okay, officially.
Okay, can we agree now?
In my book, we were confirmed before COVID.
So
But
so if
in
you're
Premier
confirmed
League's
before
book-
COVID, wait, if you're confirmed before COVID, which was March, were you competing with anyone? No.
No. It's because we were so good that we were walking the league. Now I want to tell you about the other years.
You,
That's where these guys come.
Walking the
no,
league.
you can't. You can't go
We
past.
walk the
You
league,
choose
Zoom.
that. You choose
Tell
that.
them.
Your season.
Zoom.
We can go past that.
Can I address Zoom first?
I'm listening.
We've only been involved in the title race 3 times. That is 2018-19 season. 19-20, the one we won, and then 21-22 season, the one we lost by 1 point again. Now, people say Liverpool, City have been involved 5 or 6 years. That's not true. 2017-18. You remember when Pogba scored that goal to prolong the title celebration for Manchester City? These guys were the ones who were competing with Man City, not Liverpool.
So what
Let's
you're
go.
telling
No,
me-
let me finish. That is 2018-19. Us guys come in for... No, that's 17-18. So us guys now come back in 18-19. We lose it by 1 point, but we win the Champions League. 2020, we lose the Champions League, but we win the league. 2021, our people are back again. With now kina Bruno, now COVID time, now everything now. Walimaliza, territories zao wanamalizanga na 18 points behind Manchester City. Us guys are back again in 21-22 season. We lose the league, but we win a double that season.
on penalties.
A double of
On
Carabao and
penalties against the same
The
team.
last title is a Carabao Cup.
Against the same team.
Well, they were in the final.
Wow,
Against
Eric
the same
is
team.
on fire today,
Well,
man.
they were in the final. We don't care who plays in the final. Us guys just win it.
against Chelsea by the
From
way.
there,
penalties against
last
the same
season
team.
now, Arsenal are in it. They tried at least better than United. They at least
course.
took it like at least three match
Okay.
days.
Now-
So what I'm trying to tell you is that we've not been involved in the title race for 6 years. It's your narrative, but we know it's
now,
only 3 times.
Why people say that is because you come up with this narrative of City
It's not
Pool era, right? The City Pool era, and to be honest, it's not really an era.
We don't say an
because
era.
When we talk about an era, Man United, Arsenal, for example, Ferguson, Wenger, you know, Ferguson won how many Premier League titles in that period? I think 4.
No,
Arsene
he didn't
Wenger
win
won
4,
3.
Bana. He won only 3.
No. Arsene Wenger won 3. Ferguson won 4. Between the
And then Wenger came,
1997
and then Mourinho came, and then
till
things
about-
changed.
Yeah, wait. Between 1997 till 2003, 2004, Apple.
Okay.
That's an era where both are really competing.
Like 7, 8 years.
Yeah, 7-8 years where either or are winning. Not a random
An era
Conte win.
doesn't mean that you have to be like let's say
that's
winning.
What, that's what an era means.
No,
Yes,
that's not true.
When
That's
we talk
not true.
about Real Madrid, Barcelona, an era. You know, Vicente Del Bosque, then Frank Rijkaard.
That's more than 20 years.
Yeah, that's an era.
Madrid actually won one spear.
Era-
You tell me a Barca, they were so good.
Yeah, no. I said Frank Rijkaard. I didn't say Jose Mourinho, because even Jose Mourinho didn't win that many.
We say CR7 Messi era, yet CR7 only
Because
like
it
2.
lasted
They won
for
only
many
2.
years.
They won only like 2 only. Messi won the rest, and Atleti.
No.
So it's like ours.
When we talk about the Messi,
CR7.
Ronaldo era, it's about players. It's
Okay,
not about teams.
that
So that's
Barca
the
Madrid,
that's Ballon d'Or.
Madrid era when they won the World Cup, when Spain won the World Cup and the 2 Euros.
That's my point. Is that you see, it goes back and forth. Mimi nashinda.
The amount
mimi
of
nashinda.
time,
No, it
yeah.
wasn't like that in
time
Spain.
as well.
It wasn't like that.
Oh, then we take
No,
a
it
break
wasn't like that in
because
Spain.
we have financial
No,
issues.
it was
Then we
actually-
take a break because we were beaten 7-2.
No.
Let me take a break because
It wasn't like
midfielders
that,
are 38 and above.
It wasn't like that, and it's like ours by the. Let me tell you. when we say City and Liverpool, we mean like these are the only two sides that have won the league in the last 4 years. It's not like we create something there. We've won the league in 2020. They've won the other leagues. If they won the league alone, we would have said it's their era only. But we were in between them for 1 year, for one season. It's not like we said we're big like them.
You made a guest appearance, mukajitoa.
And then
you had a chance to. Why didn't you win?
Hey, listen, I didn't say it was an Arsenal City era.
City pool.
I didn't say Arsenal City era.
But you see, our era.
I said we're challenging.
In between those Premier Leagues, we won the Champions League. We won a couple of FA Cup and the Carabao Cup.
But we're talking about Premier League, bro.
We're talking about Premier League.
No.
And I don't know how
we
you
also
confuse us with these other trophies.
We also competed with Man City in the Champions League a couple of seasons.
How can you be in an era, right, when Man City have to compete in the Champions League while the other one, the City pool era, the other contender is in the Europa League? That's not an era. When Arsenal and United did it, they were both in the Champions League. They even faced each other in the Champions League.
You've said
Chelsea United faced each other in the Champions League. When Chelsea, Jose Mourinho and
Ferguson, that was also an era.
Like all the way up until 2007-8, right? Like that period. You guys faced off in the Champions League final. That's an era now. You guys face off not only in
Europa League,
Premier League conversations, but also Champions League conversations. There's a real rivalry. Here, these guys are handing each other. Oh, I just finished my press. Yeah, sure, you come and do it now. Please have a seat.
So you guys are not arguing. You were not arguing. What did you do? Did you deliver anything?
No, listen, it's not about me. Stop roping me into this.
You're coming at me for not winning the leagues. Did you do it? You were there last season.
No.
In fact, you bottomed.
Asking him why he didn't do it. It's not part of the argument here.
It's irrelevant, bro.
How about, by the way, skiza, hapa tunaongelea, you're saying the City pool era and it's
coming back.
And it's 3 years. You can't have an era of just 3 years.
We can.
It's not an era.
It's a short era.
That's not even a presidential term.
It's
what
a short
are you talking
era.
about, man? Like,
it's a short era. Tenak's era has lasted for only 6 months. It's a short era.
Shut up, man.
And we're okay with the. Anyway, listen, guys. We are convinced that the only team that can actually put a real challenge on Liverpool this season is Man City.
However,
to put a challenge on Liverpool.
Yes.
I think you got that wrong.
No. I know what I'm doing.
You said on your tweet, and Chiari also reiterated this.
It's both Liverpool fans across the world.
Look at this guy, David.
You guys are the face of Liverpool for me here. So,
yeah. We're the ambassadors.
Yeah. Both of you said only if you beat Tottenham away and Brighton away over the next 2 games will you then consider yourselves actual title contenders. Why can't you say that now? Does Tottenham and Brighton scare you?
No, it's because
I'm just saying if you were part of it.
Let me answer your question. I
wouldn't be worried about Brighton or Tottenham.
No, maswali zingine zinakuwa like explanation. Like explain further, then kuna brackets.
No, when we say we test ourselves against Spurs and Brighton, we appreciate how good they have been. You guys, Arsenal, mlikuwa na kiburi even last week by one that you are properly going there, despite not looking as good as you were last season. Right now, we appreciate that we're playing much better than last season, but there are other 2 teams who have started quite well, just like us, and they're playing at home those 2 games. And we know for us to go back to being mentality monsters, we need to do what we did back then. And these are the games.
But you guys said you were mentality monsters right after the Newcastle game.
Listen,
so why suddenly are you
they are
not?
Different. These things apply differently. When we say like that mentality monster, that now applies in that particular game.
That's my question. Why does it apply differently? Now for one game, you're mentality monsters. 1 international break later, suddenly we're still convincing ourselves.
No. Zoom.
Then after beating West Ham and seeing the Arsenal result against Tottenham, you're like, we're the only guys who can actually push Man City. Then
I never said that. I said they're the ones who can push us.
Then you're saying after the game, only if we beat Tottenham and Brighton, then we can consider ourselves. See,
no.
Like
Skiza.
One
game in Newcastle, but they look like Andrew Tate. Are you related? Okay, listen. Your game
what did he say?
You look like Andrew Tate.
You look like Andrew Tate.
I'm kipara na ndevu.
Hiyo combo.
Yeah, from this side.
Ana kama watu wengi, Amrabat, Andrew Tate.
Una kambwemo.
Yeah, I get that a lot.
Pia unaweza kambwemo akiwa slightly darker.
That's food.
That's coffee.
Okay, so Zoom. So my point is, tukisema mentality monsters in apply pia twice. Kuna game yenyewe. You see, like you can be performing like badly in a season, but you get that one game where like you're trailing, and then you come back and win the game. Like you show that like signs of being a mentality monster. But now overall, we take it into a league where you do it back to back.
Eric,
keeping those
I have a question.
Yes, ask me. I'm here for you, my friend.
Don't forget to like, share, subscribe.
I want to remind you that by this is on Zoom. This guy.
No, see, I'm asking you a question.
Wait, before you ask, I have like 2 hours. You ask me. Oh yeah, mtu Manchester wanasema haraka.
7-0
For me, the thing is, I have a question.
Yes. Ask even too.
Your performance against Wolves, your first half performance against Wolves.
That was last
to me.
Week,
that shows that this Liverpool side is so far behind Man City.
Why are you going all the way back? Like just yesterday or before yesterday? When did they play?
Yesterday.
Yeah, you guys played Jana, no?
Yes, on Sunday.
Yeah. I wasn't convinced.
Exactly.
I wasn't convinced by your performance.
That's true. We're also not convinced.
And I don't think you should have gotten a win from that game. Maximum you should have gotten
now,
a point.
You see the difference now between this season and last season. These games, last season, we draw points. We're not able to come back to these games and win. Because this season, we've gone by, I think, like 3 games even in the Europa League. And last season, we struggled even to score even 1 goal. But we know we're not playing well in the first half.
But that's not sustainable, Eric.
But you see, you improve.
By constantly starting off poorly.
No, yeah, but you see, Saddam, right now we're starting the season. You can only improve day by day. That is
there's no guarantee you'll improve day by day.
Well, there's been guaranteed the last 2-3 games. I mean, if you look how we played.
No,
I would
Eric,
say, no,
Eric,
listen.
There's a sign. There's so many things that can happen. You can get an injury.
Yeah,
like how much amount got injury and they're completely different.
Yeah,
We've got an injury, we are completely different. You are lucky because you have most of your players fit.
Unlike last season, the way we had so many players out.
Yeah, so now that you have all your players fit and you're starting off games poorly, and you have to come up with some miracles and
it's our players who winning the game. It's part of the game.
Some lucky decisions.
Some calls, honestly,
the Jared Bowen one was a clear pen.
That's not a clear penalty, man.
It was a clear pen.
No,
it was McAllister's foul, right?
Yes,
because like now let me ask you,
Jared Bowen.
We also have decisions that have gone against us, like that.
Which one?
Gettier. If you look at Gettier's incident and McAllister's incident, Gettier is more of a red card than what McAllister got.
Gettier
yesterday, that game that you played Tottenham
against the keeper.
Against the keeper.
No, I'm trying to show you. I'm trying to show you that. We've also had decisions go against us this season. In fact, McAllister is like twice, where we get a red card and our game completely changes.
Honor, I'm looking at. You're trying to put yourself up there in terms of being a title contender, and Mina Honor, a team that is just getting by games. You're just winning games because of your sort of.
Except the Aston Villa game.
Yeah, that's
probably the only game where they were really convincing.
Zoom. One thing I want you guys to remind you is that what you're saying is completely true, and we know that we're not playing the best of what we would like to do, and we know that. So I'm not saying Saddam. I've not said that we are at our best right now. Even Yage yesterday said that there's still more to improve on this team. They were conceding goals, they were conceding chances. So I have not said anywhere that we are playing our best game right now.
No, you haven't. But then you also make statements, Eric, where you're saying Man City are the only real title. Didn't he say that name?
But that's fine.
But you see,
Man City are the only real problem that we have to deal with. Well, of course,
because
they're the biggest problem.
And to be honest, the season.
And to be honest, I think the only team that actually looks really convincing for the league again is City.
Yeah,
Arsenal they're stuttering in their attack. You guys have your problems. Chelsea, we know the problems they have.
Naeem, we have to compare. Let's say how we started last season and the other season that we were in the league, where we were close to winning the league.
No, last season you're not close to winning the league.
The other season.
Last season we were not anywhere close to winning the league. The other season we were close to winning the league. This season is giving the same vibes that we had in 2021-22 season.
Were you starting off the game poorly? No.
We considered the first 7 goals. We're conceding goals and then you come back. And then you start now keeping clean sheets. What I'm trying to show you is that unlike 2019-20, where we were winning the games 2-0, 2-0, 2-0, like 1-0, keeping clean sheets, it's different now, and we expect that we're not like our players. Like Van Dijk is not like let's on top of his game like 4 years ago.
The goal, the Bowen's goal, right? What was Van Dijk doing? Like those are the questions that.
Yeah.
This is not the same Van Dijk.
Yeah, that's
the
like
Van Dijk.
Right
the
now.
Van Dijk that was with you when you were fighting with City toe to toe is a completely different guy from this guy. Hujama, he is just there.
Yeah, that's true because like that goal, he
was getting.
But you see, we also have to give us like benefits of doubt. I still feel like we've got like a couple of players out who could like probably give more to the team, and also players who are Thiago, Trent, Konate.
Thiago doesn't start when all your midfielders are fit.
No, if he is fit, he plays 6. Then McAllister can play his position.
So no real DM there.
Yeah, we
no real
say
tackling
because Gravenberch is playing box to box, man. Like that game that we played in the Europa League, he was super attacking like Bruno Fernandes.
Because he's not a defensive profile.
Mo Salah and them played that Europa League game, right?
Mo Salah played, of course, and he scored.
Yeah. Remember you telling us that you want to see Europa League, right?
What you said is okay. Tell us
like
what you
guys
said.
Are not listening. You know the
we're listening to you very much,
bro.
The problem with you is that you guys are not listening.
In fact, the whole front three played, no?
Yeah, the front three played.
The whole front three.
No,
but they were subbed on like 70.
No, we don't have like a preferred front three at this point. We're still trying to test.
No, because it's only Salah is.
So Salah is not in your preferred.
The other ones are they're not good enough for you to say that they're
literally beat
they're very
no.
What did I say?
You're trying to say Salah is not confirmed in that starting.
No, he's saying only Salah.
Only Salah is confirmed. And the rest of the man.
I told you at some point in the Europa League, Salah is gonna have to not only travel but also be called into action.
Now,
because you can't expect Doak to carry you.
No,
how do you say his name? Doak.
Ben Doak. We had actually won that game by the time Salah came in. But the point I'm trying to make is, I don't expect Mohamed Salah like to play the way he played in the Champions League last season, because last season, game week 1 of the Champions League, Salah plays 90. Man was not there. Diaz 90. But now this season, at least now atakuwa na come like kila like 20 minutes cameo, like 10 minutes. You tuko fine now.
But that's just group stage, to be honest. I don't think getting a knockout things change.
Knockout tuko na kina nyinyi. Hiyo hata itakuwa easy. Sasa tuko na real Europa League teams.
So how were you overall happy about that performance against West Ham? West Ham looked like they're going to be a problem.
No, let me tell you, but
because they missed a lot of chances, no?
I think we've not had a chance this season to say we've dominated a team, like properly dominating a team. I think the only I was coming to that Aston Villa, because the game against Newcastle we struggled, we scored in the last minute. Chelsea we drew, we missed so many chances, and then yesterday I think those
Chelsea outplayed you.
Bournemouth, Chelsea like that second half. Bournemouth, Bournemouth I think we won but they scored fast. So we can say like we're like at 65%. By the time we play Manchester City mid-November, end of November, we could be now approaching like, let's say 80-90%.
No, but the thing is, you still don't have you haven't replaced Fabinho.
Why not?
Like that guy, that Fabinho's role. No, when you can say now McAllister, those are similar profiles. Right now, Fabinho, you don't have a Fabinho in your team.
That's true, but now McAllister is not playing that position.
McAllister cannot play that position. You've seen he can't play, yes, but he's
yesterday he played well.
He's fast.
He got an assist.
First game he
played
played
well.
Not even
an assist.
Like, and he caused a penalty that he wasn't given.
I mean, that's how fine the margins are. He'll say he played well, but he could have easily given away a penalty.
I think
and then who knows what's gonna happen.
I think from the first week since they came, the game he played in Chelsea, I think he's improving day by day and getting used to playing that position, because he's not a natural 6.
But is the plan for him to play natural 6 forever?
Now things look like, because we never signed like a real 6 is on his top of his game, apart from the captain of Japan who is playing Europa League.
Oh my God.
Captain of Japan had the worst debut, but
so the way I understand things,
Sai
McAllister is playing 6. No, but if Thiago comes back, because I think they're trying to manage him right now. I think he was coming back and then he got sent back, so he should be back. Like when he comes back now, probably we hope he'll be there for at least like 3 months before coming.
It's not good enough. It's still not good enough.
Last season before Ishe.
Yeah.
Like April Luko.
No, ukishafika 38 old age. Ukishafika 38.
Amekula mchele mob, bro.
If he comes back and is fit, probably play 6, and then you can see the real World Cup winner, McAllister. Now, you know, as guys have a real World Cup winner, someone who contributed even in the final.
What are you trying to say?
What are you World Cup without Lisa?
What do you mean?
Lichandro, okay.
He played a huge role in that World Cup.
I was in that stadium. I didn't see him.
I mean, he's
you
5'4".
Didn't attend all the Argentina games.
I did. Apart from the Saudi Arabia game.
He was pivotal in the Saudi Arabia game.
He didn't even play the final, did he?
He did.
A few minutes.
He came off the bench.
But now, Zoom.
Did he?
Yeah. No Saliba thing, man.
As I conclude this topic,
khakis.
it feels like we've started much better than last season. And
Don't compare with last season.
You have to compare. You have to compare and contrast.
And we hope that Manzo can continue like this. Now, these two games now that are now coming in Newcastle, Tottenham away, the way they're playing so well.
Yeah.
I think last season we beat them like home and away.
But like
and
honestly,
then Brighton beat us 3-0 last season.
Eric, the only fans who can be
ulichapa na Brighton, we alichapa na Brighton. It's okay. It's
Eric,
home.
The only fans
at this point. Did you guys beat them?
No,
exactly.
So we bet when it matters. Tulichapa when it matters.
When?
Carabao semi-final.
Carabao.
Mlopiwa Carabao. We had a lucky run last season.
We played Brighton. We played Brighton.
That's when Enciso got his first debut. That season now.
We played the big teams.
How did you beat them?
Big teams, Newcastle.
We beat them on pens.
2-1.
It was on penalties. Yeah, you're not even good.
Top bins, Lindelof.
Oh, so it's on pens. It's not good. But when you guys do it twice,
we beat Chelsea, man.
Against a relegation team.
We beat a real team. This beat Brighton. This man beat Brighton.
Okay, let's see you guys go beat Brighton and then we talk. We discuss. I'll remind you of this moment.
Now
we will be there.
Obviously,
conclude so that we can go to Ramsdale, please.
Now, for me,
and Saka.
Now, for me,
Ramsdale.
I can't say like I'm 100% confident on those two games, especially Brighton away.
Yeah.
But if we win those games, we can say we'll be looking back and say we went to Newcastle, we beat them. We went to Spurs, we beat them. We went to Brighton, we beat them.
That's true.
There are big teams like now Arsenal, Man City. We can deal with them, and obviously preparing for Europa League by playing these guys, and we move.
That's a crazy statement to make, man.
We beat you 7-0.
You're already bottom of that table, bro.
Moving on swiftly.
It's a table.
It's a table.
Bro.
Moving on swiftly.
You guys are in a Europa League table.
Moving
bro.
on swiftly. You're resting Rambo for what? International break?
Carabao Cup. Carabao Cup.
Is he gonna play Carabao Cup?
Yeah, he is.
He'll be so frustrated, man.
I saw him clap for Rai after you.
Why? It's one of the biggest competitions according to
When's the last time you won it?
Some fan base.
Oh yeah, it's a big competition.
It's a massive
That's
competition.
our competition.
It's so big you never even have to say the name. You just say a trophy.
Yeah, but then you need a real keeper to play that competition.
True, yeah,
like Newcastle when they play these people in the final.
Exactly.
They are no keeper. If Newcastle play Pope, you don't win that final.
Kwani Pope ni Yesu.
Sini Pope.
He's his assistant.
Yeah, he's deputy Jesus.
Right hand man.
Yeah, no ambassador wa Mungu in Monaf.
And you know we have our first 11 seasons to my teenagers.
Wallahi, bro.
Manibal is good though.
Who?
That kid from
What are you trying to
Tunisia.
say?
Hannibal, bro. I'm not
So you guys
on that
relegated
one,
again.
Who?
Your guys been relegated again.
Yeah, it looks like
Fourth record time.
Maskini.
The fourth record time.
Relegated to the bench. Not.
Did you see this coming though from the first day of the
Honestly,
season?
I didn't. Wallahi. I know it's ruthless, whatever, but I didn't. And I feel for the
you,
guy.
You had told us that Rambo is keeping his position. I think you had said that.
I was convinced he was, because I don't see the big difference between Raya and Ramsdale. They're both very similar. It's just that Raya statistically,
it might be in the mistake making.
Both of them had an error
situation
leading to goal last season. So I don't know. I don't see it. Anyway,
do you think Raya is gonna keep it like for long?
No, I think like that hype over a new player is gonna die out. Arteta's gonna get bored, and at some point Ramsdale.
No, but you don't think he's good enough?
He's playing Champions League.
So why would you not want to keep him if he's not good enough? If he's good enough?
I just don't know if he's better than Ramsdale.
How comes most of Arsenal fans don't like him right now? Like they prefer Ramsdale. A number of Arsenal fans, especially on Twitter.
It's that when a player is so likable. You know.
Why do you like him though?
Ramsdale, great guy, bro. What do you mean?
Well,
fantastic guy. Celebrates goals like a proper fan.
He's just happy to be there.
Rattles.
Even paying £150 per week,
has
but
a lot of personality. Like last season against Tottenham, what he did to Richarlison and the Spurs fans, hilarious. That shit gave us so many good moments.
Why were you guys researching the Champions League anthem? Why were you singing along to that anthem?
Missed it.
Have you ever seen any club, any fan base anywhere in the world singing along to the Champions League anthem?
Did you cry as well?
No, I didn't.
Did you try and cry? Did you try?
Did you like put the volume during the anthem, like to hear the anthem again?
No.
No, you did, man.
Did you like close your eyes?
No, but I did put my.
What time did you start watching the TV on that Tuesday night?
6:30 p.m. This guy was there, man.
Kulikuwa na kickoff.
I was watching analysis. I was watching.
There was not a kickoff, right?
There was only kickoff.
But I wasn't
Madrid.
watching the
Kulikuwa shangaa mtaanza lini? Kulikuwa na Madrid hiyo siku.
But anyway, the Arsenal Tottenham game. I'm just so frustrated because, again, you know that meme for Arsenal holding a pipe labeled Arsenal.
You discovered that.
Arsenal.
You invented that meme.
Yeah.
It is your meme.
I know. We brought it back after a whole season. After a whole season of not seeing it, I see it on my timeline again.
But okay,
Odegaard with a stinker, man.
there is a thin line here. I don't know if we should shit talk Arsenal or praise Spurs.
You see, that's the thing.
I'm not finding both.
I think it's a bit of both.
Let's do both.
It's a bit of both, man, in my opinion.
I think
man.
the proof is in the eating of the pudding, or the pudding in the eating, whatever. The proof is in the pudding, right? If you look at the general mood of Spurs fans on Twitter, at least, or on YouTube, they're so happy. They're really
That's expected.
happy.
They got a point there where they've not gotten points for a couple of seasons.
And for Arsenal, they're gutted. They feel like that's 2 points dropped.
You lost the
not
lead.
a point gained.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? So it tells you a lot about where both clubs are. But at the same time, obviously Tottenham.
Nah, that's
Tottenham
not
are
fair.
above you. That's true.
No, but honestly, wait.
You guys are laughing.
I don't get this talk from Arsenal fans about Tottenham yet. These guys have only finished above Tottenham once in the last 4-5 years.
Yeah, that's true.
You're not even the best club in North London right now in the last 5 years.
No, we've done that at least twice.
Hey, 5 years?
Yeah, we've
You
done
finished.
that at least
No, you
twice.
finished third.
Unai Emery took us to the Europa League.
Unai Emery left
and then
when?
that season.
They were in Champions League.
They were in Champions League.
Spurs have always
Was
been
in the
Champions League
final?
up until maybe
no,
2 years ago.
they were in Champions League, bro.
The season you were in
I
the Europa League
remember
final.
that. I remember
Wait,
that.
wait.
This we can check so quickly, man.
There's Google.
You behave like the big boy in North London. You are not.
We are.
You are
When
not.
was the last time we were beaten by a London club?
So let me tuanze.
I'm saying North
When's the
London.
last time?
I'm saying North
When's
London.
the last time we were beaten by
You
a North
dropped
London
points.
club?
No, let me finish.
Yesterday you dropped points.
Hey. Last season, Arsenal finished second above Spurs.
Yes.
Mabruk, thank you. Congratulations.
Appreciate it.
The season before that, they finished above you. That is
We
21,
finished
22.
fifth.
Yeah, you finished fifth, they finished
They were
fourth.
in the Champions League. You are not. That's obvious.
Oh, shit.
2020, 2021, you were eighth.
They
I
were.
don't even... Way above.
And they were?
Above you, what do you mean?
Where?
They were like third or something.
They were in the Europa League with Conte and Nani.
When you were eighth, they were seventh. And then you were eighth again, and then they were sixth.
That's 5 years already.
Spurs
And
current
then
run.
2018, 2019, they were fourth, you were fifth.
You see?
2017, 2018, they were third, you were sixth.
Shit.
2016, 2017.
Let me
Wait,
just-
2016, 2017, they were second, you were fifth.
Just summarize
2015,
it. Just
2016,
Summarize it, bro. Thanks to Google.
Thanks to Google, Spurs current run of 6 seasons above Arsenal in the league.
Has ended.
The longest.
Then why do
6 successive
Six.
seasons.
Has ended.
Yeah, so for the last 7 years, you've
You've
been
only done
above them
once.
once.
So what?
so
What does that mean?
they're the best team than you.
Wait, what does
How
that
are they
mean?
in
better-
the league,
how
in the
are-
league.
how are they better
that's the
than
league
us?
title. That's the league table there.
They can't beat us.
No, that means they are better than you.
Oh my god.
That
They
means
had a
they're
better
better than
season
you.
than you in the league.
That means they finished above us. That's
Yes.
it.
So they had a better season than you.
What
Simple
else
as.
is the requiring in it?
There's nothing else.
What else
Kuna
is the
nini ingine?
requirement?
In fact, we can say
They only finish above us. That's it.
It's the same way you say City is the best team in Manchester.
Exactly.
Because they'll be finishing
Or
above
they're better than
us.
Liverpool.
Okay, they don't just finish.
Yeah,
above
but
us.
In
they've
fact,
been
we just
finishing
told
above
us
us.
win the league.
But they
What
finish
has
above us.
Spurs won?
They
They're in the
finish
Champions
above
League
us.
final,
But they finish above you.
in the
6
Champions League
consecutive
in a
seasons
consistent
in a
way.
row.
And that's ended now.
But right now, as we speak,
It's a fucking match day.
exactly.
They could have
It's
said
match
that
day
last
6,
season, you know.
and they're above that. They're above us on goal difference.
They're
No,
above
but
you or
anyway,
not?
Well, they're still above you.
let's talk about the game, guys.
So you guys
I-
had like a purple patch last season.
So he was trying
Yeah,
to say
sure.
he was trying
Yeah.
to say that he was trying to downplay the draw, saying
Yeah,
that
yeah.
like that says a lot about Spurs. Listen, Spurs are the most consistent team
Team
in
from North
London for the
London.
last 10 years. Facts.
Five.
That's just facts.
Five.
That's not an opinion. That's a fact.
Okay.
Yesterday, what we saw was a guy that was given a team and within how many months? 4 months, 5 months, You can say identity.
Not even
and they are up
August,
there.
September.
Yeah.
2 months.
What Ange has done for the last 3 months is what took Mr. Arteta 2.5 years. Right? Because Ange is not finishing 8th 2 seasons in a row. Right? If he does that, he's getting sacked.
He's won the manager of the month in his first month.
Yes. So the way I'm seeing it,
with no Kane.
This is like a business as usual.
R9 is
Spurs
scoring
being
again.
better than Arsenal. Spurs being better than Arsenal in everything. Maybe winning trophy.
They have the best Brazilian striker in North London.
Well, they only have one more chance of winning a trophy because they've already been knocked out of the Carabao.
They've got the FA Cup.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
And the Europa League. Are they in the Europa League?
No.
They're not.
Conference, I think.
Not even in the Conference League. They finished 8th.
Your position now. 8th.
Yeah, 8th.
So nyinyi na Spurs muna change hiyo
No,
mkienda.
second. We're getting pretty used to that.
I don't think you guys by the way will make.
In as much as Ange has done really well, I really do appreciate that. I think he's a top guy. Fantastic, very likable guy.
He's a top mate.
Top mate, yeah. Really difficult to hate the guy.
Yeah.
But in terms of what they've done so far this season, yes, there is identity. But in terms of the game yesterday, we were all over them the first half. Not a first good 20 minutes, like you guys like to keep saying, week in, week out now. No, a whole first half. And they dominated the second half, and I think there's reasons why. Namely the injuries and the tactical substitutions related to the injuries.
Rice was injured.
Rice got injured, so Arteta had to put in Jorginho. Right? And Jorginho is a fantastic player. Let's not...
It's fantastic.
You can't defend him anymore.
You're stretching it. Hey, you're stretching it.
You're trying to be diplomatic.
He's a player that has made it.
What? Democratic.
Diplomatic.
Somebody said democratic.
He's a very good player, right? And,
how good?
And easily one of the most experienced players in the league, let alone in Arsenal. He's obviously the most experienced player in Arsenal.
He's only playing like 5 years. He came with Sarri.
Bro, in terms of appearances in top flight football,
he came with Sarri. We have players like Joe Gomez have been there for like 7 years. John Evans.
He has more European trophies than Klopp himself.
No, he means in totality
like in
of his career.
Say that again. I mean, has he won?
Yeah, he has 2.
He's
won Champions League and Europa League.
Europa League?
Yes.
Won with who?
He won Chelsea.
Baku.
What's wrong with you?
Well, Klopp has won the Champions League and the Super Cup. Those are 2 European cups.
He won the Super Cup as well. Shut up. Anyway,
guys.
3.
We beat Chelsea in the Super Cup.
Stop. We're not
Do you disagree with what I
dick
said?
sizes right
Sorry?
now.
Do you disagree with what I said? That he's a very experienced player.
Well, experience comes to numbers. You can be experienced but not good.
He's a very good
But
player.
he has an error in
Shut
him,
the
man.
fuck up, man. Honestly, like he has a anyway, no, I'm just gonna leave it. I was getting baited.
He's not good.
He's
Like,
not
he's
good.
fantastic.
I saw your
You can't
tweet.
say
He's
he's
very
fantastic.
defend him. It's not like you like him so much.
No, I really do like him.
No,
he's a very
he's
good
just
player.
made it.
You can't say he's fantastic,
He
bro.
doesn't even start for
He's
Arsenal.
not even in his prime
When you guys have your
anymore.
best team.
He's the worst Inyo ever.
He should have just been called George.
Yes.
I saw that tweet.
How many years do you have?
But either way, like even if El Neni made that mistake,
And then he's still a player.
yes, right. Even if El Neni made that mistake with his experience, horrific mistake. But going back to that point, Arsenal dominated the first half. Had to make the tactical change. Jorginho comes in. Declan Rice's physical profile is taken out. So then he had to take out Vieira to couple Kai Havertz's physical profile.
To
complement.
Havertz has physical profile.
He does.
Okay. That's what I saw yesterday.
Well, I saw it against Man City, not just yesterday.
Oh, the
Community Shield.
Okay.
Yes, a trophy we've actually won this season.
That's
So-
not a major trophy.
Should I bring up?
It's not a major
tweets?
trophy.
Guys, let's focus on the
Should I
game,
bring
man.
up- should I bring up a tweet?
Why we
From your profile.
Saying what?
Oh, you know it. Anyway, and then in as much as yes, Spurs played some really good football, right? Especially in the second half.
Well-
Now, once we were hindered, they still didn't create too much. I think the only clear-cut opportunity they created, right, was the Brennan Johnson one, which he fluffed.
Well, it's a big game. You don't have to create
Like they scored
more
they
big
scored,
chances.
They scored the first goal, and that was just class from Heung-min Son, right?
Was it him or was it Madison? It was more Madison than him.
Madison got a bit lucky with the
Got
ball
l-
falling for him because Saka had won that ball, and then he just kind of fell for him.
He got rinsed. But
He
in
didn't
the
get
left.
rinsed.
Akatwa kufanya hivi. Wanafanyanga nini?
That's what he said.
Okay, sawa. That's what he
That's what
said.
Madison said.
So now it's truth.
No, we saw and he said it.
We were watching TV.
If you guys agree with it, then that's fine.
No, if he said I've rinsed Saka, well, who am I to disagree?
From East
Africa.
Anyway, they didn't create anything else apart from that Brennan Johnson thing.
Which means they were clinical in those two chances. And that's how you play the big game.
Good for them. I didn't say they weren't clinical. I just said they didn't create much.
Why are you making it look like a problem?
I didn't say it's a problem.
No, you're making it look like an issue.
I didn't say it's a problem. I'm saying it's a good thing. For all their passing, we didn't allow them to create much. It's just that they were clinical and we weren't. And that was the difference between us winning and them getting a point. Simple as. Like, there's nothing else to say. And even when they did try to play out, we had their number, especially in that first half. We forced so many errors. Udogie with an error. James Maddison. That's how, like, what I was saying with those fine margins. McAllister had a good game, but only because that penalty wasn't given. Maddison had a good game, but only because Jesus, once he robbed him of that ball, didn't finish his chance.
No, Jesus did what he usually does.
Fair. That's a fair point. I can't argue against that. But you get robbed like that in the Premier League, you should be punished.
Yeah, the way they punished Jorginho.
Exactly, the way they punished Jorginho.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, it's a point gained for them and 2 points dropped for us.
Now that
it's 2 points dropped for them.
But then the second half also.
Ask a Tottenham fan.
The second half
I'm not
also
a Tottenham fan in Kenya.
showed me a couple of things that need to be fixed in this Arsenal team before you guys can actually start pushing at Manchester City levels for the title. In terms of, if Odegaard is having a stinker, there's no real other option in terms of creativity.
There's another team in between them and Man City.
Just leave it. Just let me land. Let me land.
Okay.
And also Saka at some point was being nullified on the right hand side, and there was no alternatives to try and fix those issues. That's what I saw in the second half.
In the second half, okay, like because
Odegaard had like
33%
pass completion.
Did you watch the highlights?
No, I watched second half.
Yeah, okay. So in the first half, Saka dominated Udogie, right? And that's because he was getting the ball a lot, right? In the second half, he just wasn't getting the ball enough, and that's something Arteta has to highlight. Like, we're not clicking as an attacking unit just yet.
Yeah.
Like, if you look at the stats, we've created 8 big chances in 6 games. That's crazy. That's not good enough. It's nowhere near good enough. And in as much as, we look more solid defensively overall, not just in that game. Overall, this season, we look more solid and we have more control over games. It's almost as if it's cost us our fluidity. But at the same time, I don't think Arteta is helping himself. Because
why do you say so?
Because
Nketiah should have been taken off instead of
Nketiah should have been taken off, right? Yeah, it's not. So I found out that
should have put Havertz in the 9, I think, and then taken off. Who was it was supposed to be taken off?
No, I found out that Jesus was taken off because he still can't complete a full 90 after recovering from that minor surgery on his knee. But I think he should have started with Jesus up top, Reece Nelson on the left. Started, yeah.
Reece Nelson. You trust him for the big game?
Yes,
like
absolutely. He's a very good player. He still has a lot to prove, but we have to be real, right? Play players in their proper positions. Look at, for example, did you watch the highlights at least of the PSV Arsenal game?
I saw the game. Like,
you saw the game?
Both games.
Okay, so we looked fluid. Our attacking unit was clicking. Everything was sawa. That's because Jesus is a high-touch player. So he creates chances for players around him. He creates little movements for other players like Kai Havertz, Martinelli. That game was actually Trossard. But then obviously now we've lost Trossard just before the game. The training session just
Trossard
before the game.
injured?
Yeah.
He pulled up a little bit.
You're fucked.
No, he's back. Him and Declan Rice are back for Bournemouth. But
and Martinelli was
Declan Rice back so soon.
Yeah,
it was
today. Just a small back injury. I don't know. Maybe getting tired from carrying Kai Havertz. But
stop playing defensive. We see what you're doing.
I'm counter-attacking. I'm counter-pressing. But at the end of the day, that's like, you have to appreciate there were monumental changes in the lineup that also Arteta should have reacted to better. Edin Nketiah should not have started that game. It should have been Jesus, Nelson, or even Smith Rowe. Someone else, just not Edin Nketiah, because it completely killed our attack. Yes, now in the Carabao Cup games, maybe you give Edin Nketiah and Kai Havertz those games. But, what Naim is saying is right. Like, if he didn't want to play Reece Nelson left wing, that's fine. Play Kai Havertz up top. Give us some more physical profile. But at least Kai Havertz will drop in, get some touches in, move some players about. But we didn't do that, and eventually Arteta has to learn from that mistake.
I think he cost you. If there was rating, he was the lowest.
Eddie or Arteta?
Arteta.
Both. I'd say both were the same.
I can't blame Nketiah.
No, you can't.
If he was shit, just sub him off.
No, he's had good games where he's more involved. He comes around, touches the ball, like when he's in the mood. But he has this nonchalant, he moves around almost like Martial a little bit.
But we're assuming...
except when he's rushing to close down a keeper. Then suddenly
that's unfair. That's unfair because... that's unfair because you're assuming... he was told to drop back and he didn't drop back. Maybe Arteta's instructions.
No, that's our game, bro.
Listen, the way you think you play and the way Arteta passes his instructions, because he's the kind of manager that is very hands-on. Like if you are out of position, he'll tell you there. I don't think Nketiah, your plan was for him to drop back, because if it was and he wasn't, he would have been subbed off.
Checky, you watched that game. So, as I was saying, you watched that game. It's not that he wasn't dropping back. Let me rephrase what I said, in case I said it wrong. It wasn't that he wasn't dropping back. It's that when he was dropping in to receive the ball, he was losing duels. His first touch was a bit poor. He wasn't turning at the right pace. That kind of stuff. Whereas when Jesus does it, it's fantastic, right? He does it so brilliantly well. So, for example, it had consequential effects on other players around them. Fabio Vieira didn't look good. Martin Odegaard didn't look good. And then even David Raya...
You're saying it's because of Nketiah?
No. I'm saying those are some of the reasons that it affected the overall attack. Because even when David Raya receives the ball...
There's no one to give.
There's no one to give. When he does kick it into space, it's actually targeted at Edin Nketiah, but he's not backing into the defender. He's actually miles off that defender. So it just looks like a wasted kick. Yeah, it just looks like a clearance. But it's not that. Those are actually good kicks.
Wait.
It's in the same way.
Are the kicks directed to him or in spaces?
In my opinion, they're directed towards him or where he should be, at the centre back. Receive the ball, help hold the ball and get us out. It's the same way that Onana has good kicks, like against Burnley, right? But Højlund was not in the right position. Or even against Arsenal, when it wasn't Højlund, it was Martial. They're not in the right positions. You guys are supposed to be up against the defenders so that you can compete for something. Because why the fuck is he... Like, if this is the length of the pitch, he's not going to kick it towards Saliba Gabriel, right? Or let's say... Romero and the other one, Van de Ven.
Van de Ven, yeah. Fantastic centre back. Wow,
pretty good, bro. But he's a bit shaky as well.
Romero is the banter. He is so fucking shit.
Who?
Romero.
Fuck it, yeah.
He is so bad.
But like Lisandro Martinez, he also has a World Cup. And that's the classification of modern football fans these days. Just like McAllister.
No, I said we have a real we have a real
anyway, that's not what we're talking about. I just baited you there for a bit. Yeah. But you see, like Onana will actually have good kicks. If they really want to clear it, they'll send it out to the fullbacks, the farthest possible.
Yeah.
But if you're sending it out to the centre backs, it's so that in hopes you can compete for something.
Now that you've seen your team with 2-3 injuries, you see how you're playing.
I have to say,
no, like your fullbacks, centre backs, everyone is fit. Your injury was just Rice and Martinelli and Trossard.
No, let's be real. Name them, Vizuri. 2 of our first and second choice left wingers. Okay,
but when you mention them, we know their contribution to the team.
Yes, you know exactly what they mean. And 2 of our first choice DMs, Rice and Partey. And then there's still obviously Yuri Timber, but that one you can't really rely on anymore.
Yeah.
But essentially,
what's your realistic?
Those are massive injuries.
No, you've seen just 45 minutes of you missing key players, playing a decent team, right?
Yeah.
Does your opinion of your expectations for the league change? Because I think if you're a realist and if you'd see that when the season started and you had all your fit players, you're playing shaky. You're playing a different system. As you're saying, Arteta was trying.
You're not
that didn't work out.
Like
it's not as convincing as Kitambo. And now that you have a few injuries, and things really look funny.
They look uncomfortable. I think first of all, let's get one thing clear. because guys have asked me several times now on Twitter, on
your demand
and whatnot. Like, what's the prediction, right? I still maintain my prediction that City are going to win the title, right? I do expect us to challenge, but the good news is, even when our players get injured, they're coming back quicker. Thomas Partey, for example, expected to be back before the City game next weekend.
They're playing City.
It's how they get injured, though. Like, not like they're getting injured through.
I get that.
Like, it's someone and
that's fine. That will happen at some point. You see, like, you have to cope with it. I get it, but my issue is not necessarily the players getting injured. It's the squad dynamics. Like, how is Arteta choosing the right players to play? Like, play Reece Nelson in his position. That's what you missed when you went and picked up that call. Play Reece Nelson, play Jesus up top. Edin Nketiah can fill in for the FA Cup games and Carabao Cup games and Champions League once you've qualified.
He has 5 years remaining.
But if you only play once in the FA Cup and Carabao, then you're out.
Doesn't he have the legendary? He has the legendary 14 as well. I mean,
he has to fulfill.
He has to play.
I don't care. Like,
and I think
Emil Smith-Rowe has the number 10.
I think Nketiah basically has credit in the bank in that when he was called upon last season in this kind of same situation, he lived up to it.
He did.
So for you to say,
and he got a new contract in the
like
process.
A blanket statement, and we know Jesus is still recovering from a knee injury, that Jesus should have started when Nketiah has had good performances in these kind of games. No, I can see the thinking behind it in terms of Arteta's selection of the squad.
No, I understand it, but
the guy who we can't really fight for his rights right now is Havertz.
We'll come to that.
He should not even be anywhere close to the first 11, in my opinion. He's the one who should be playing the Carling Cup games.
No, but he's not even in that same position. Fabio Vieira deserves to start ahead of him. Yeah. Fabio Vieira actually played really well in the first half as well.
Considering the money you bought him for and the salary you paid
it is what it is. I don't care about the money thing.
Well, Fabio Vieira because gives me Bruno Fernandes vibes in that he's able to provide a large amount of big chances for the attacking players.
It's not just that name. Fabio Vieira, what he's doing right compared to Havertz.
Even Odegaard.
Odegaard had one bad game, so what? He's had so many.
In terms of the chance creation.
I'm just comparing. Relax. I was like, what the hell?
You're so defensive.
Yeah, I am. Because
but he had a stinker of stinkers.
He did have a stinker.
He was playing like McTominay and 33% pass completion. Odegaard.
And he got booked. Yeah. And he got booked, so he couldn't press the same way that he usually does. It was just a bad game overall.
33% pass completion,
36,
bro.
36, okay.
Wow.
36.
Big difference.
I'll take it.
That's way less than half, bro.
And it's only Tottenham.
And it's only Spurs, lads.
Oh, really?
I'm the under Brighton.
Should we talk about Spurs for United?
I'm the under Brighton.
Anyway, Fabio Vieira, what he's doing compared to Kai Havertz, he's replicating Xhaka's role so well, because Xhaka would also find himself in the left flank overlapping sometimes. You get, like, he knows how to rotate between late run into the box, overlap, maybe occupy the striker's role. He did it perfectly, but Fabio Vieira is doing that well now. So I think Fabio Vieira should start. Kai Havertz
should start in the Carabao game.
Should start. Kai Havertz should be benched, and he was rightfully benched.
For how long now?
I don't know, until he's.
Do you think he's given up now on him?
I think he will.
I
think he will
improve in the middle position or as a false nine.
As a false nine.
But Zoom, you saw this like at Chelsea the way he played.
No, of course I did. But even when you see him, bro, even when you see him. You feel bad for him because he's not even a bad guy or anything. He's just a way guy.
The game is scored 4-0. He scored.
PSV. You get, like, how do you say Nyonge? Yeah, he's Nyonge, bro. How do you say kwa Kizungu? I don't get it. Like,
he's
a little bit, but like not as harsh. No, but it's true. Like a little bit. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like it's a bit awkward. You just wanna.
Did you see him trying to get the ball?
Defending, and then he just fell over. And you're seeing some 6'4" guy just fall over. Like,
and I think he's frustrated. Like it's catching up with him.
I think 007 was in his head. I'm sure he didn't want to come.
Because they got a new haircut, Like,
bro, that thing looked exactly the same to me.
It's like Zoom.
Well, you could have just gone to my barber.
You can't understand. You have no hair, man.
You're one to talk. Mr. On his way.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. Unless you're on your way to Turkey, don't talk to me.
So you expect him to improve?
I do. I expect him to improve.
Are there any signs, like what sample size are you looking at? Because this is just a continuation of his Chelsea career, man. This is just his continuation of his Chelsea career.
I think,
and he paid so much money.
Like what signs are we seeing?
So I think
he's not explosive. He's not physical enough. Sometimes he doesn't look like he wants it enough. When he has the ball, he's giving negative passes.
I don't see
the point of Havertz.
You wouldn't have watched the PSV game. The PSV game
was PSV. We need him to be performing against Spurs.
A top European club.
You're paying £330,000 per week for someone who has already had 2 Premier League seasons.
He's not
in the top flight, bro.
Odegaard is our highest paid player. I'm going to address this one last time, especially because this has been reaffirmed. This has been reaffirmed by The Athletic now. Odegaard is the highest paid player on 265.
Send me the link now.
We need to see that.
Send us the
I'm
link.
not going to send the link. You guys check it out.
Why can't you send us the link?
Because how is that relevant to now?
Because we can show you links.
Fuck off.
About the 330.
So the best game he's played for us in the 9 role is against Man City, and he was decent. He was quite good.
The City don't care
Community Shield.
about.
Oh yeah, they really didn't care.
Really
you saw them celebrating.
We also beat them in the Shield.
And you celebrate. You took pictures with it, didn't you?
No, I mean it's the Premier League rules.
Shut up, bro. Premier League rules. Everybody was blowing up their Instagram. You piece of shit.
Well, you have
Pep Guardiola was celebrating in Arteta's face when that guy scored. Cole Palmer scored. Shut up.
It's the heat of the moment.
He played well. And against PSV, he also played well. He played forward.
It's PSV, man.
It doesn't matter. It's a Champions League game.
It's like Luton.
And
he played as
tells me,
no,
he played in the left 8. What tells me he's going to do well is that he's finally finding ways to safely combine with other players. Safely defend. Like, he's not defending and then losing the ball. He's winning his duels. Yeah, yesterday he came on. It was a bad.
Let me ask you a question.
It was a bad appearance overall. But I think he's going to do well. And that's coupled with the fact that Arteta brings back these kind of players. Fabio Vieira, last season, guys were comparing, just this season, someone paid 35 million for Fabio Vieira when you could have just paid 40 million for McAllister.
But Fabio Vieira's
taken
was
a
his
year.
first season acclimatizing. This is Kai Havertz.
This guy
2
is
seasons
now,
for Chelsea.
And this guy is now acclimatizing to the left 8 role. He's never played that role before, by the way.
Let me ask you.
The role that at Bayer Leverkusen, he used to play as a 4-2-3-1.
The issues we're highlighting about Kai Havertz are not even about the role or the tactics or his function in the team. His general play. He's just general football play, man. It's not working.
Let me ask you.
Doesn't look like he cares.
Ask Zoom the last question.
Let me ask you the last question on this topic. You paid 65 million for this guy, Sindo?
Plus add-ons, 70 something.
What is that special thing that you saw in him to pay that money?
Well, I'll check in with my boss and then I'll let you know what fuck says.
How the fuck am I supposed to know? Was I on the fucking deal? Spend so much money like that on a player, you have to have something special on him that you bring into your team. Let's look at our players like now.
What's special about
the players that we've paid 70 million and above? I'll tell you every single player.
What's special about
Keita?
Who? Keita.
Keita kwa 70.
Alikuwa 60.
He was 60
no, nimesema twende.
Tell us 60 and above.
Twende Van Dijk.
No.
Those are the only 2 players.
Yeah.
That's it.
Tell us about Keita. What's so special about him?
Okay, now Keita didn't work. We sold him now. We accepted for him.
So you didn't answer my question.
You see now,
the same way I'm accepting.
No, but you see, for you, at least as guys like Keita, injuries wasted him. He was really a good attacking midfielder who we felt could have been, like, let's say, close to the next Gerrard for us.
So you couldn't treat him?
Huh?
So you
next
couldn't,
Gerrard?
No, I'm saying close to the next Gerrard now. That's why he even got the number 8.
Close to the next Gerrard?
So you're wait, he's
and
saying...
he was young, but the injuries wasted him.
So he's saying it's not Keita's fault, it's your medical team's fault.
Well, mostly it's leg. I mean, it's the injuries. I mean, it's not like up to the medical team like makes you injured. They treat you.
It's bad luck, man. It's just bad luck.
Alikuwa na injury history. But you see, when we had seen a feature on him because we tried to replace our midfielders from back then. Like,
but it didn't work out.
It didn't work out.
Same as Havertz.
Let me ask the question.
How can you say it doesn't work in 7 weeks?
What's wrong with 7 weeks? 7 weeks is so short, man.
It's
what are you talking about?
because you know the difference between us guys and you guys. We went to a transfer. We targeted this player, which is this player, for a couple of times, for a couple of months, and we got him. You guys went to Chelsea and got someone whom you are not even scouted for some time. You just are like, there's a player available. What I understand, the way this deal went, like, this is an agent deal. This guy is unwanted at Chelsea, and he wants to move clubs. So what does he do? He has to look for another club that can accommodate him in the UK. And Arsenal are there because this is a player that you never wanted.
Oh, so they knocked on Arteta's door. Can I come?
Something like that. That's how agents make money.
Right now, Arteta sees him as the Granit Xhaka replacement. And in terms of the defensive numbers, he's putting up better defensive numbers than Xhaka did throughout his whole Arsenal career.
That's not true.
It's literally on the Athletic.
Do you believe that?
I swear, I do, of course. What
send us though. You have to
what kind of question is that?
those
Wait,
stats.
wait,
Make sure
Zoom.
Zoom sends you those stats.
Oh, well, I'll send you the stats.
Do you genuinely believe that?
Wallahi al-Azim, I'll send you the stats.
No, but do you believe it?
Yes, I do. But right now, he's not putting up the attacking numbers that Xhaka did last season. And the thing is, yes, it doesn't look it right now, but it's clear Arteta thinks he is an upgrade on Xhaka, or will be an upgrade on Xhaka, because he has superior technical ability and he has better creativity.
So far,
but that's
we
what we
have
saw
not
at Chelsea
seen
last season.
any of that.
Exactly.
In
And
the
even
last
last
3
season at
seasons,
Chelsea.
we've not
And the
seen.
other one
And
also.
that's
Xhaka
fine.
was a better player than Havertz last season.
Xhaka was a better player than most.
What is the assurance that it will work for him?
There
at
is no
Arsenal?
assurance. There is never any assurance.
Moving
with
on-
any
moving
deal.
on from
What's the
Havertz.
assurance that Dominic Szoboszlai is going to be a world
It's already
beater?
working.
He could get an injured.
It's already
It's
working.
really working. But
It's
the
already
keyword is
Right
so
now.
far.
Yeah,
Yeah,
now.
so far.
So far.
What about so far for
fucking hell,
Havertz?
bro? What do you? Who's one of these players that made a comeback? Like fucking Granit Xhaka. Who the fuck thought he was gonna become the attacking midfielder that he was last season? Nobody. So that's the point.
But you see, it's not like Xhaka had like 2 to 3 bad seasons. He probably
No,
had
he
like
had-
one
he
bad
Xhaka
season.
had 5
Oh
bad
my
seasons.
god. Wait,
What is
wait.
what is the
At
angle you're trying to get
the
at?
last 2 seasons at Chelsea, he was nowhere close to be
Okay,
top, being
okay,
top,
He
being
had
a top player.
2-3 seasons that he was bad. I remember 5 seasons where Xhaka was shit for
Oh, yeah.
us, but he
Xhaka-
still made a remontada. Fuck off.
Xhaka was
And you
bad
still employed
longer.
him. So you went from a bad player to a bad player.
employment contract when
No, so we went from a bad player to a bad player.
No, we went from a bad player who turned good.
To
Even
another
better-
bad one who hoping he'll turn good.
Oh, exactly. Granit Xhaka was better than McAllister, by the way, last season. So you can
Oh
sit
yeah,
on that. bro.
factually yes.
Absolutely, he was.
He was a Brighton player.
I don't give a shit, bro. He's a World Cup winner, no?
Yeah, he won the World Cup.
Exactly.
Brighton.
He's a World Cup
I
winner. Then
want to
carry that on.
talk about Zinchenko.
Yeah. What about him?
I feel like I think he's been found out.
Why?
Well, he was found out at Man City, not even near at Arsenal.
Oh no. See the thing is, yesterday, his inverted fullback thing was not working.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think he played okay. I don't think he was just particularly great, but he played okay. That's simple as. He was very good against Man United. I don't know why you guys couldn't find him out then.
It's United, man.
I'm assessing Man United.
That was like 2 weeks ago, guys. Can we talk
And it's
about
United.
present things, man?
2 weeks ago.
What's wrong with you guys?
2 weeks ago
Caicedo.
is a fifth of our
Caicedo is on 0-0.
Havertz's career.
Nah, Caicedo is a defensive midfielder. You don't have to count that.
You know, I don't get it.
Oh no, you
Where
don't
do
get
United
it.
fans?
No, you don't get it.
Where do United fans and Chelsea fans get the audacity to ask about 0-0?
Because you guys
Where?
are celebrating
No,
when Sancho hit 0-7.
Listen. Sancho, forget Sancho.
0-0.
Modric is on 0-0 40 something.
No, he has an
Nah,
assist.
he had an assist.
Before
he got an assist
0-7,
before
yeah.
0-7.
Which assist?
He got an assist.
Angalia.
Tungefika tayari tungekuwa tushajua
No,
bana.
Modric would have known kitambo.
Tungejua kila mtu
Bro,
angejua.
I've seen the stats.
Wala
No,
has an
angalia.
It's 0-0-21.
No, it
No, Wala has an
It's
assist.
0-0-21.
I'm very sure. I'm very
No,
sure
Wala
he
has
got
an
assist.
Um,
He got an
who
assist.
else?
It's a Premier League.
It's a
Premier
Premier
League.
League thing. Yeah, it's a Premier League assist hata.
He has a Premier League assist.
Last season.
Yeah.
last
Tungejua,
Wala he
tunge-celebrate.
does. Wala he
So
does.
don't- Watu wanakuwa na count.
Prove me wrong right now, please.
Akona only one assist.
No, and it was on the 7th game.
Yes.
Wallahi.
Yeah.
Kila mtu alifunga. McAllister pia alipeana assist jana. Gakpo pia alipeana yake ya mwisho.
He has 2 assists actually in the
2
Premier League.
in the league. Yeah.
This is all seasons now.
Yeah.
But he has 0 goals though.
Fucking hell. Anyways, but Kai Havertz didn't cost 100 million. But no worries.
But if you do the conversion,
Conversion.
Havertz is worse.
Mudrik cost how much?
Because of the
Modric.
amortization and the length of the contract.
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
the same amount.
Mudrik cost how much?
100 million.
But it's over like 20 years contract.
So it's
So
about
it's-
60 million.
Yeah, about
Something like that.
give or take.
Bullshit. Anyway, speaking of
0-7
Chelsea,
shall arrive Buddha.
Oh yeah,
Speaking
Chelsea,
of
honestly,
Chelsea.
what the heck is going on at Chelsea?
Yo.
Like, yeah, tumechoka. Also, Chelsea fans, to be honest,
I'm
this
loving
is
it.
your section.
I'm loving it so much, man.
Usually we enjoy when a
They're
team
looking-
Liverpool loses once a week and then we have some banter.
yeah,
We-
because they get hyped, they're here, and then that L brings them down here.
Yes.
That was
Sasa
last
nyinyi mko
season.
chini hapa, what do we
That
do?
was last season, man. We've not lost a
No,
game this
relax.
season.
At,
Even 2 seasons
at
ago,
some
shut
point
up.
in the season tulikuwa tumechoka kukubanta.
Yeah.
We were tired at some
Up
point.
until 7-0, then you were
But you
very
never
tired.
bottled the
Until
league.
7-0.
At least you never bottled the league.
No, still. Usidivert.
These are the bunch of the
Muko
season.
Europa League, bro.
Usidivert.
I'm-
Why are you
5 years.
diverting? Stop diverting, bro.
Oh no, we're
Yeah.
talking about Chelsea. Listen,
Liverpool was last season's
No, but it's
Chelsea.
true. Did you see that troll football image? Name showed me, Jana. That lion being tired of being.
Oh yeah.
The,
Like
what's that thing?
Their logo.
Their logo. Ambassador. I don't know. Fucking hell.
Chelsea fans, Chelsea in general, our memes folders go empty. There's no new memes. Like we've used everything.
It's actually weird that they're losing the games they're supposed to win this season because
and it's the easy games.
From October they play the next 2 weeks. They have those 6-pointers against Burnley and Fulham. Those are hard games for them, and then they enter that. Wafike Salgas sasa.
Bro, when we come back from October international break, he's right.
I think that's when
I've mentioned it a number of times over the last couple of weeks. But it's gonna get incredibly difficult.
Like I said, I think the first one will come in December when they play Sheffield at home.
I think Pochettino goes second week of October.
Why would they sack him though? That's a big mistake again.
Oh no, I think he will be sacked.
Bro, listen.
They'll never recover.
Eric, listen, this is relegation form. Sawa. They have no goals in September.
I think they're like 2 points.
They have
no goals in September.
Chelsea fans on Twitter were excited.
Apart from let's say
Burnley and Sheffield and who else? Lost points this weekend. Luton, yeah.
Let me ask you something, sir.
Yeah, they're 4 points clear of relegation, bro.
Apart from
the person who they're 4 points clear of has 1 point.
Apart from Tukama,
and the game in hand.
wait.
Burnley and Luton have games in hand.
On Chelsea.
Luton and Burnley.
And let me tell you, Burnley are gonna beat them.
Like in Zoom, no, listen.
Burnley are good.
If they sack Poch right now,
they are.
If they sack Poch right now, apart from someone, let's say like Pep, Ancelotti, probably let's say Klopp. I don't think managers the
Sam
problem.
Allardyce, come on, bro. I was waiting
for you
to say. Yeah, I was waiting for you to say that name,
Sam
bro.
Allardyce. Maybe they even poach. See,
It's
they poach
too early
Graham
to
Potter.
hire Sam Allardyce.
They can poach Roy Hodgson.
Like in Tonga,
From
the issue is
Crystal
not the
Palace.
manager, man. The issue is not the manager right now.
Bro,
what did you say is the issue? Because now they have a settled
How is it
manager,
not the
right?
manager?
They've trimmed the squad.
They have a very good team. They have a very good squad.
What is the issue?
Ideally,
what
right
would
now,
we say
they still
is
have
Chelsea's
like
problem?
12 players out.
No, general, all fit.
They have 12 players out.
All with their price tags. Just show me something.
Just price tag.
Oh yeah.
I think what they should do right now, it's too early. You can even start winning your games in December and still survive this relegation thing.
We're talking about relegation.
That's all we're discussing.
We're talking about them
just improving.
Even qualifying for Europe. Because I think Chelsea, as an institution right now, they have to be top half of the table. We can't
Poch is trying
be discussing relegation
to get his identity and to play for players to stick by that, and that's not going to happen in like 3-4 games. They have to be patient with him. Atakama at the next 9 games, and then probably comes now to start working probably sometimes in December.
Let me ask you a question.
No, but we're not advocating for the coach to be sacked. All I'm asking is
because I've seen some Chelsea fans are actually asking for him to be sacked.
Let me ask you a question.
Yes.
Put on a hat that says Chelsea FC right now.
Yes.
Okay, but it says sensible Chelsea fan.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. What's the most realistic place you guys can finish this season? What would you be okay with considering the start you've had?
I'll be okay if I avoid relegation this season. Because listen, Zoom.
Because they did that last season.
Yeah, because listen.
They avoided relegation last season.
Yeah, because look, they have had like 4 or 5 managers in the last 20 to 24 months. Top managers, Tuchel came, won the Champions League with them, they sacked him. Sindio, Lampard, Cahold, Kidogo, there was another guy, Bruno or something, the one we played, and now they have Pochettino.
Potter and then Pochettino.
Actually, Potter, yes, from Brighton, a very good manager, came with a very good team from the coaching side. 5. So, ideally, the issue is not the management. So this guy Todd Bowley needs to stop signing players, first of all. You cannot go to the transfer window.
Stop now until January.
No, like that January.
That's the only reason.
Yeah, he cannot sign now because
if he goes out and signs another 6 players, they're done. Because now you'll have to start looking for where do these players now play. We signed this guy for 90 million. He needs to start now. Because Caicedo came, he needs to play. Lavia, they have to look for somewhere for him to play. This guy from Man City called Palmer, he has to play. Raheem Sterling
has to play.
Not Palmer. Has to
give this manager time to at least now know his first 11. They're like 100 players on loan for Chelsea.
Yeah, but right now, where the club is at, having spent so much,
sacking
I don't believe
getting a new manager, starting the process again.
No, wait, I don't believe that Chelsea, like no matter how much they've spent on the squad right now, I don't believe the financial pit is bottomless. Like at some point, they have to keep getting sponsors in. Right now, they have no sponsors on their shirt.
Yeah.
Right?
I think they will.
They're signing at some point, right? But currently, they're missing out on that revenue. They're missing out on European football revenue. They're missing out on finishing as high as possible. You get extra revenue. Like at some point the club has to start paying back its owners for the expenditure. So should they sack the manager, get a manager who can work with any group of players like they have done before when they brought back Mourinho?
I have a solution.
Maybe it's worth bringing back Conte.
I have a solution. Exactly. So this is my solution.
Wallahi, Conte is a great manager. I don't understand.
But
that's
he's,
true.
he's
But he
also
starts
toxic.
again.
And he's also a bit toxic, I think.
Yeah.
So it
I have a
fits the
solution.
profile.
Todd B. You know Todd B usually listens to spaces and stuff. Assuming Todd B is watching, right? This is a solution. I think Pochettino is he's too soft.
He's a bit of a nice guy.
He's too nice. He needs Conte.
Though he dealt with their Felix.
Wait, he needs Conte. He needs a manager with a little bit of racism in him. Okay, there's bare black players in Chelsea.
What?
There is the hairstyles. I think everyone has to shave. I think black players work well.
Doesn't want to be associated with this. With bald heads. Part of the content.
I think generally history and tradition, black players work better.
Zoom
with a little bit of whipping. Well, relax.
Talking shit, man.
Call me a racist.
No, I'm saying like they need some motivation. They need a kick in the backside.
He actually made a good point.
Remember, Lukaku at Inter. Wait, Lukaku at Inter was MVP. Who was the manager?
Conte.
Conte knows how to deal with black players.
You see,
hii mambo ya kuingia training na kucheza na mpira no. Kwanza mkimbie tu like EPL training.
No, you need
there
something.
needs to be coordination between, because right now I don't think there is, their transfer work, because I think Chelsea are signing players that the managers don't even know. Sindio, the other day we had Suju Malang, so the manager doesn't even know him. Give Poch, if Poch wants a player,
another black player,
let him go outside.
Where is Malang?
Short ball mwenyewe alikuwa anataka Ronaldo, Cristiano.
Yeah.
For the business and stuff. Until he stops that. Yesterday I heard one of the other owners went to the dressing room after the game. They lost to Aston Villa. So they still have that control. They're trying to control the team. They need to let the manager do the job and decide, I want this player, I want this player. The good thing he did was telling Felix, I don't want you. And Felix went at his
I'll be honest. I'll tell you my opinion.
If you don't give the manager the free roll right now, because you've got them, you've spent money. Imagine they've spent 1 billion and Raheem Sterling is their best player.
Eric.
Isn't that concerning?
No, that's concerning. Yeah. The thing is, in the history of managers that we've seen across Europe, there is few managers who are very independent or would want to take control of the whole club. Pep being one of them, Conte being one of them, Spalletti being another one, right? I'll give an example. Conte won the league with Inter. He said he wanted 1, 2, 3 investment. Yes. Hakupatiwa. He said, I'm bouncing. You're not controlling whatever. Spalletti, the same thing. He won the league with Napoli. It didn't work out. He wanted surprise. Who was his best striker? Black man. He wanted. I'm giving you solutions, my friend.
They're bad solutions.
No,
you can use better words. Use players' names from now on.
As in, see dark players. African American, no, they're Americans.
African Americans.
Yeah, like just, I'm giving solutions. This is my take, right? If Todd B wants,
well, even Tanag needs those solutions.
Oh no, why? We don't have a lot of black players.
No, like you need players to score goals for you.
So if it could work for the Chelsea, it could work for you guys.
Don't try to spin this to a United angle. This is a Chelsea angle right now.
Okay, so you're not that far from them.
Nah, we are
like 4 points or 3 points above them.
We are on top half of the table, bro.
And Spalletti doesn't care about the owner. Even was during there is another player coming in, Kesha Subui, Malangsa, like all these things. This whole issue that is happening at Chelsea. There are a few managers. Pochettino is the worst kind of manager. Who would you put in this situation, because he doesn't have a spine.
Manager, yeah.
He doesn't have a spine.
Okay. This guy has gotten the better out of
you need a spine.
Honestly, to be fair to Poch, he took Tottenham, a very young squad, to something like, at least they dreamed of something. That is not the one.
Okay,
number 2. Number 2, I don't think Chelsea, the issue is like they don't have money. I think they have too much money that they are overspending.
Okay, wait.
Pochettino's
be consistent. Why do you hold that opinion for Pochettino but hold a different opinion for Erik ten Hag? Erik ten Hag did the same thing. You say Erik ten Hag is not a good manager, but then he took a young team from Ajax to the same semi-final that Pochettino got to with that same team.
Poch was in the final. But Erik ten Hag was in the Farmers League. And
they got lucky.
I didn't say like I have a problem with ten Hag, but that was banned.
Either way, no.
For Chelsea, it's serious. No, for United, it was banned.
No, but let's be honest.
No, for Chelsea, I'm
Pochettino is a serious project manager. Chelsea claim they are a project club now, but they're not. They're so far off it.
Let me ask you right now. Come out Arteta. Umeenda send Gabriel Jesus from Man City, the player that you want, and then kesho yake unapata umeletewa Chamberlain, umeletewa Milner, umeletewa sijui nani, players you don't even want.
You could even but
you can't prove that that's true.
You guys are arguing the same points
because it's probably.
Let me put your points together, guys. No, watch this.
Before you go,
finish.
We cannot say.
Put your points
We cannot say.
Kuna mic drop, ama?
We cannot say. A manager at Chelsea went out and bought 11 players in the same transfer window.
Please. I argue with Chelsea fans all the time on Twitter. All the time. And they always come at me with some random name of a technical director who is now the best thing that ever happened since
Twitter, buy this.
I think that's true, but Chelsea fans will tell you, no, we have some guy called, I don't know, something Slav. And he comes in and he gets you all these players, and they're like, yeah, top signings.
Another thing, is it are Chelsea fans the only ones who brag about non-football people in their teams?
Yes,
Marina.
Yes,
like
Marina,
I know so many other
Marina
people.
was a checkbook director.
Yeah, there's so
she
many.
She was just triggering release
Yeah, but
clauses.
to be honest, she did bring in a lot of money. But either way,
at least she never oversigned players.
No, she did. But either way, the point is, they keep coming with these names of technical directors. No, there is a connection between our scouting team and our manager and our technical director. They know exactly what they're doing. By the way, we have two technical directors. We have a technical director and a sporting director. And I'm like, okay, what's the difference? They're like, one guy handles the vision of the football that we're going to play over the next 5 years. Another person handles the contract signing.
I'm surprised they don't have a stealing director because that's what they've been doing.
And then they get sacked in 3 months.
Exactly.
All of them.
Like, I don't get it. First of all, I just think
football,
Chelsea as a football club is just an immigration agency. That's what they are.
Whoa, that's crazy.
Ooh, yeah, that's what they do. Think about it. But from Roman Abramovich times, how many players have been on loan? Think like how many players have actually gone on loan?
So you're saying it's like wash kind of.
Of course it's wash. It's but sports washing since them days.
Yeah.
Putin only allowed Abramovich, like Abramovich only maintained Chelsea, right? To protect himself from Putin's regime in Russia, because then Putin can't actually control him because he has a global brand that he can't control. And at the same time, he's working with Putin. So it's like you scratch my back, I scratch yours, but this is my protection.
So basically what you guys are arguing is the dissonance between the coaching staff and the board.
Yes.
In relation to the vision,
what's the
overarching vision of what the club should be.
What's the dissonance?
They've signed a project manager, but the board don't believe that they should provide the manager with what he needs to complete the project.
And Pochettino.
And they keep interfering with the project.
And Pochettino
by
succeeded.
Signing players and walking into the dressing room and stuff like that.
Pochettino succeeded in a club where they went some windows without even signing a single player.
Which is
Spurs. Okay.
Right?
Spurs.
So there's like he's not used to having this many new players.
I just want to know.
Also, there was like what?
No, just I bado kuna plus 11 or
and
the only
and the only black player that
more than 30.
Listen, the only black player that Pochettino made work is Dele Alli, and he's half white and he's a fucking drug addict now.
Who?
Dele Alli.
What the hell?
And he's half white.
Whoa, man.
He's the only player.
This is crazy, bro.
Yeah,
our captain.
Okay. 2. 1.5.
There's another one.
Musa Dembele.
Musa Dembele
was not part of it.
He was.
Musa Dembele is also mixed race. Mixed race half. So Dele Alli and Musa Dembele is 1. So?
Yeah, the Sanchez.
Serge Aurier.
David Sanchez, no.
Serge Aurier, no.
And now you're naming all the ones against your point. But where do we stand as a panel? Does Pochettino have the right players? Is he a bad manager? Of too many players? What's the issue?
So as someone who's experienced
in what?
A situation that, like I'm a Manchester United fan. I've seen a team that is in turmoil.
I thought you were going to say...
Still there?
Yeah.
So
as someone who's experienced that, he's still...
Currently,
yes. Not currently. We're up, man. We're back.
You're not back. What do you mean?
Chill, bro. Chill, man.
We're back.
My manager is bored. Anyway. From someone who's just seen a mess in terms of the dressing room, the board, signings, that's what he's dealing with. And I think he's still trying to get a grasp of the whole situation. And I do believe he's going to turn it around if he's given the time.
Lukaku has 3 goals.
I think he has good enough players to win games that they're losing.
Now the problem with Chelsea,
I think these players are overhyped, guys.
Exactly, that's the issue now.
No.
They went out and spent so much money
to beat the teams that they've been losing to. Correct or not?
I agree with that.
They're good enough.
Those are like 8 teams in the league.
Yeah, but they're good enough to beat the teams that they've been losing to currently.
They have 1 win.
Luton.
And Lukaku has 3 goals, more than I think the club.
Your question on players. Your question on players. That's not the main issue now. They go out, they sign too many players who are not even on top of their game, and then they bring them to the team.
No, you're bitter. You're bitter.
No, I'm not bitter. Is
it a question of,
I actually
of the quality
Caicedo.
And Lavia?
No, not just Caicedo.
Yeah.
For example, Malo Gusto, Disasi,
those players.
Chukwemeka.
Kuna Ugo Chuko something.
Yeah, I don't know which one are we talking about.
Bro, there is Chukwemeka and there is Ugo Chuku. Bro, like I like
which one is which?
Both. They are 2 players.
Both are wingers.
No.
Both are black. Both are Kolomanyole.
They've signed too many players with a possibility of potential.
That's my point.
They've not signed enough
proven
world-class
for
players in key positions.
And they've spent
if they had spent that money just on the spine of the team, and gotten players who are actually world-class in the spine of that team, I think they would have been much better.
And they're still
with
signing
Malo Gusto on the sides of it.
But then Malo Gusto is
And Malo Gusto is not half bad, It's not half bad.
He's the number 1 right back, Sindio.
Yeah, well, I mean,
James is injured.
Reece James can't be number 1, bro.
Yeah, of course.
And now he has a red card, so missed 3 games.
Straight red.
3.
Yeah, it was straight red.
3 games.
So itabidi wameka Caicedo hapo.
I mean, he played well against
really well, against Arsenal, bro.
Against Man United semi-final, though.
Anybody can play well.
Against Man United, that's
Even
true.
Burnley played well.
Tuleka Vilo tukapika 7. Curtis Jones tukapika 5.
I couldn't subscribe. We're still finishing. Let's talk about Burnley.
Why?
Talk about what?
Let's talk about Burnley United. How do you guys feel about that game?
Can I go? Are you gonna go? I go.
Listen,
Johnny Evans says
there's a text I sent this guy, man. Just I don't know.
What you play next?
I read that text or you read that text?
No, let me start with what Vidal said, Kwanza.
Yeah. Hey, Vidal came in hot for
what he's saying is facts.
Bold guys.
No, only the last statement.
No,
bold people are weird.
Whole statement is facts.
Yeah, bold people are weird.
Complicated.
Yeah.
He said complicated. And I am complicated.
Vidal.
Yeah. He attacked
Pep
Ten Hag,
Guardiola.
bro.
Sorry?
He attacked Ten Hag.
What did he say?
Let me just read this and
He
then
said,
maybe.
Chanaga Jubol.
He said he comes in, he takes out Ronaldo out of the team. How can you do that to Ronaldo?
Cristiano's finished, man.
No, not that season.
This is what he said. That coach came in badly. How are you going to take out Cristiano Ronaldo? That's how these guys are. He was the scorer and he takes him out. The bald guys are very complicated.
The bald guys, bro.
Is it not true? Are you not complicated?
I'm not that bald like you.
So you're not that complicated.
Walk like level 1.
So you're not
So you're kind of complicated.
1.5.
Yeah, Premier League, yeah, bald people. Miniko Championship. What is Japan?
Yeah, but you're winning championship like Burnley last season.
We're looking at you for promotion, bro.
Unbeaten like
company. He's even wearing the cap.
No, sasa hivi nilikuwa nimeenda house kwa Sony.
Did you guys
you're wearing the
notice?
cap like Burnley.
Did you guys notice
Like
how
company.
big company's cap was, bro? That was the biggest hat I've ever seen in my life.
It's like a basin.
But I don't support that point. I think from last
XXXXL,
week's interview with Ole, he said Cristiano he thought was like a good move, but by the end of the day it ruined everything. I think Ten Hag took the right decision.
Oh yeah, there's no one who thinks Ronaldo was good for the team.
Yeah, man.
Anyway, you guys got carried.
Shisha ndo wafunge huko Al Nassr. Uliona hiyo game?
Wallahi, watu waliwasha shisha, bro. There was no way you could see. Well, I didn't even see the ball go in. And then I'm being told Edward Mendy is the keeper.
Even the keeper didn't see the goal.
Keeper anafikiria ball iko huko the other end.
Jamaa anafungwa.
Yo guys, which is better, MLS or Saudi?
Saudi, bro.
Saudi is
In
better.
terms of quality.
MLS.
Saudi is
MLS
better.
is better.
I'm gonna go with the journalist.
Have you seen Ronaldo's teammates?
Bro, please, I've seen guys tracking Messi's runs.
Oh no, you
Wala hakuna
bros
kitu
amazing
anafanya
man.
hapo.
Is any Hollywood umesema?
Hollywood mbaya sana.
I'm very sure 3 weeks ago tuambia vile sijui clubs za Saudi they don't know how to play ball. You're the one who used to live next to them.
Yeah, that was 10 years ago before they spent on money like Gerrard and Henderson. World class manager and
Al
player.
Itifaki.
They've only spent like a few
Before we go, that Johnny Evans pass.
Disgusting.
Ooh,
On his
I was
left.
so pissed.
On his left
on
peg.
his weaker foot.
after scoring a goal that should have been allowed.
He has two GA.
He has 2 goals GA, bro.
More than Havertz.
He had a goal disallowed, but it's a goal. But
okay, sure.
So mnakuja Anfield na John Evans na
Bro,
John Evans is 10 times better than John Evans peak, Van Dijk's peak.
Well, I take Johnny Evans over Gomez right now.
Ni sawa.
No, that's fucked.
Cheki. Sawa, ni sawa hata wakuja Anfield.
Only Van Dijk right now can start ahead Johnny Evans.
Even I take Johnny Evans over Matip.
Over Konate. Me over Konate. Wallahi.
Maybe
Konate
1 year
would
ago.
never Konate would never make that pass.
1 year ago, sawa.
Konate in his backyard doesn't make that pass.
Buda the Shams Buda naeka Salirani.
Konate on Friday Night Football just normal. Na marafiki in France somewhere.
He doesn't make that
Buda
pass.
mnataja Konate mtu ana bench Saliba France.
So me I'm talking about Johnny Evans. Talk to me about Johnny Evans, my friend.
Wacha mtakuja
Premier League
Anfield.
winner. So you can't
Premier
compare
Leagues,
Premier League.
Konate is a World Cup finalist.
There's more than one.
What? Which one?
Yeah, United.
Wewe.
2.
Yeah, with United.
2-time Premier League winner. You can't compare.
Ferguson's
What's a
last
Saliba one?
season.
He's young.
Ferguson's last
won nothing,
season he
that's
won
true.
the Premier League.
He's young, exactly.
He's won the FA Cup. Did he win the FA Cup?
No.
But yeah, bro, let me just talk about the game real quick before we
What
go.
game?
I just thought
United
Burnley-
game.
yeah,
Don't do
Burnley.
that, yeah?
Chill out, I'm saying that here, bro.
Let him land.
Let me land, bro.
I saw it today.
It was just good to see us win a game, man. Fucking hell.
I thought he was gonna drop like a press conference thing, bro.
Johnny Evans has 3 Premier Leagues.
3.
Yeah, man.
3 times more
I
than
just
Van
have to
Dijk.
say, mashallah, wallahi.
Did
3 times more than
Honestly,
Van Dijk.
you gotta hold your hands up.
Digia tena boy. Digia na club.
Damn.
Wait. Are we not gonna talk about Champions League?
No.
It's too early, bana. We'll talk about Champions League when you guys come back to Europa League.
bro. Onana mistake.
Well, they tried. They scored 3.
Subscribe.
Fair enough. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and we'll see you guys next week.